In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how simple it is to create a Facebook and Instagram ad. You do not need to waste your money boosting posts. First, you're going to create at the top of the page and you're going to create an ad. It's going to take you to Facebook and Instagram's ads manager. If this is the first time you've signed in, it's going to ask you for your credit card information. This is because I was already doing one of these and then cut myself off to start over. It's going to ask you for your credit card information. It'll hold that on file, and every time you do an ad, it will use that information. So the first thing you want to do is choose the objective of your campaign. The three I use the most are brand awareness, which increases the awareness of your brand by reaching people who are likely to be interested in it. Traffic, which sends people to a destination off of Facebook, such as a website, app, or messenger conversation. This is typically used when someone is trying to convert to an online store, as well as engagement, which gets you more post engagement, likes, event responses, and claim offers. Because Facebook no longer really lets you organically grow your page, this is a very important one to use to grow your audience who then start seeing your posts on your Facebook page. So for today's sake, we're going to use engagement. Down here, you have the option of choosing engagement, page likes, or event responses. Again, we're working on page likes, and I'm going to call this guy test. Whew, I've only got a couple minutes left here. All right, put the word test back up here. Pick your page. So you'll only have one because of what I do for a living. I have a couple that I'm just going to blank out so you can't see them. Now we're going to come down here. You can save your audiences, but this is where you're going to create the people who are going to see your post. This is the most important part. Take the time here. So when I create my custom audience, you can pick people who live in Canada, the US. You can get specific. We can just pick people who live in Toronto and area, and then we can take Toronto and we can go anywhere from a 10 to a 50-mile radius. So we can choose how big that circle gets around Toronto if we want to. But for today's sake, I'm just going to go with Canada. Pick a country. Why not, right? Okay. So once you've picked your demographic region that you want to be this ad to reach, you're going to choose the age range of people you want to see this ad. For example, if I am the Toronto Shoe Show, which is what I'm going to pretend for the next little while here, I don't really want people who are that young because I just want retailers who are managers or working in retail and have a need to come to the show. So I'm going to say 20 to 65. 12-year-olds aren't going to really see anything in my ad. It doesn't matter to them, though they are on social media and they are going to see your post if you're not careful and specific. Then my gender, obviously, is everybody. If you are a women's only shoe store, don't pick men to see the post if your post is directed at women. If it's a picture of a woman with a gorgeous woman's shoe and you think that women are going to be drawn in by seeing it, then I would just pick women. As well, if there's any kind of language specifications, you can put them there. Now here is the crux de resistance, the real thing you can do in Facebook ads, which is add demographics, interests, or behaviors that you want to target in your ad. So again, if I'm the Toronto Shoe Show, I want to target retail. I want to target retail merchandisers, retail clerks. There's so many of them here. Look at this. Is like I just type in retail and it shows me retail therapy. Well, I don't really want those, but you would if you were a store, obviously. Retail page admins, that's a huge one. You want the people who are doing the Facebook pages for these retail stores. So you're going to continue going through, say, the retail list. I'm going to do fashion. I'm going quick here, but you don't have to go this quick. You can find people whose interests are shopping in fashion, people who work in fashion, people who like fashion accessories, fashion design, street fashion. You can get very specific here. Trendsetters, suggestions. You can find retail store managers, business page admins, health and beauty, store managers. The sky's the limit. Typically, it's based on their job titles, behaviors, and interests. Those are the three main categories that Facebook is going to use to help you find your target. And I typically tell people to at least have 30 before you finish targeting your audience. When you have 30 things there, you've really specified who you want this ad to go to. And again, once you've put a few in and you come to suggestions, Facebook will try and help you narrow it down to make sure you don't miss anything. They want your targeted audience to be as great as I do because we want to make sure that you're getting as many people, as much of a bang for your buck as you can. Then you have this connections option here where you're going to actually exclude the people who like your Facebook page, in this instance, the Toronto Shoe Show. The reason for that is that those people should be seeing your posts organically through your page. You should be working with those posts to make sure that there's comments on them so that larger audiences are seeing them. And you don't want to pay for someone who likes your page to see the same ad they saw on your page. So you want to make sure those people are excluded, again, to save you money and really pinpoint the audience that's seeing your ad. Next, you have the option of placement. Automatic placement is fine. Facebook does a fantastic job of choosing where on Facebook and Instagram your posts go. However, depending on who you are and what you're doing, sometimes people like to take off the right column. They find it doesn't get them as much of a bang for their buck. Some people like to not be in articles. They find it too invasive. It really depends on the person. But that said, the more places you are, the more visible you are. So there's nothing wrong with choosing to leave it on automatic placement. When you edit placement, you can also edit whether you want mobile and desktop or one or the other. But people still use both, so there's really no harm. Now you're going to pick your daily budget the same way you do in your boost, as well as if you're going to run your ad continuously or a start and end date. So say next week your store's having some ginormous sale. This is where you can set it now, forget it, and it will do the work on its own next week when you're busy in the store. You're going to leave the optimization and bid strategy alone. Don't touch them. But under when you get charged, because you want to track this ad, right, and see how it does for you. Impressions will make it so that anytime somebody looks at your ad, you have the option to see that. Or page likes. And because this ad I'm doing right now is to generate more people to my page, I'm going to choose that option so that I see what my cost is per page like. In a typical ad, I find that my page likes run around 30 cents a like, which is fairly good. So then I click next. So now we have our campaign strategy set. We have our ad set into who our demographic is. The last thing we need to identify is the ad itself. So again, I'm going to write the name test here again. And you have the option of doing either a single image, a single video, or a slideshow. Remember that the majority of these are going on Facebook and Instagram. Therefore, if you choose a single image, it may get squared off for Instagram if it's long, or it may get cut off on Instagram, depending on where the content is you want them to see. A video shows up the same way everywhere. Or a slideshow, you choose up to 10 images and Facebook will actually turn it into a video for you. We're going to stick with a single image here. So when you come down here, typically it chooses your cover photo as your option. It also will automatically turn it into a video for you if you want. It just adds a little bit of information and then you can use the templates that way. Or you can just leave it alone, leave it as your cropped image. And if you scroll down, it'll show you what that's going to look like. So again, on Instagram, this would square off, but it would square off fairly nicely. This is showing me what it's going to look like on my Facebook news feeds, and I like it. Again, if I'd only like this on Facebook over where I was choosing who was seeing it, I can turn this off of Instagram and make it a Facebook only post. The last thing I have to do is pick my verbiage. The first thing you want to do is before any of this, write like our page. People like to be told what to do in a Facebook post, especially when they're looking at an ad. You have 2 seconds. So the first thing they see is like my page. Some people will automatically just click right there on the like because they'll be like, oh, okay, I can like your page. There's no better show in Canada to feature than the Toronto Shoe Show. That's what we'll say here. But you're going to say whatever you want about your business, a sale, whatever you're trying to do. Like our page for promotions or for features. There's so many reasons. And you can type those in here and they'll show up above your ad. Again, then you're trying to generate people to come and like your page. You won't see this. Mine's showing that it's too low because I didn't spend very much time and energy on my audience. But like I told you, you're going to want to put 30 plus people on there. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. You're going to press continue, and this is going to look just like any other Facebook boost, except it's going to be generated specifically to your target audience. It's going to save you money. It's not going to cost you a lot of time, and you're going to get great results. You got this.